Imagine this. You open your front door at 9:17 p.m. on a random Thursday, still in your cafe apron, smelling like burnt espresso, and there they are, your entire family, suitcases in hand, faces lit up with the kind of fake joy you only see in bad reunion commercials. My mom, Linda, 59, clutching her purse like it's a shield. My dad, Robert, 61, already scanning my hallway like he's appraising real estate. My brother, Mike, 35, grinning that same entitled grin he used when he borrowed my college fund and never paid it back. And Jessica, 30, phone already out, probably live streaming the heartwarming moment. Sarah, Jessica squeals, stepping forward like we hug every day. We're here. We're finally all together again. I hadn't spoken to any of them in over a year. Not one phone call when I had emergency surgery. Not one text when my car died on the interstate at 2 a.m. Nothing.
Zero. Ghosted.
Until 7 months ago when I quietly won $10 million in the lottery. And they weren't supposed to know. Ever. Before we continue with this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for updates. My name is Sarah Bennett. I'm 32. Up until that ticket, I was the family cautionary tale, the one who couldn't get her life together, the one who stayed single after a messy breakup at 28, the one still renting a one-bedroom that smelled faintly of mildew. They stopped inviting me to holidays, stopped asking how I was. When I was broke and broken, I became invisible. So when that $20 scratch-off ticket turned into $10 million after taxes, I didn't celebrate with champagne or post a yacht selfie. I hired a lawyer at 11 p.m. the same night. I signed every anonymity clause they had. I moved the money into a trust only I could touch. I kept working double shifts at the cafe, kept driving the same dented Civic, kept living exactly the same life. Because I needed to know one thing before I ever considered sharing a cent. Would any of them show up if there's no money attached? For 6 months, the answer was silence. Beautiful, peaceful silence. Until it wasn't. That Thursday night, as Mike pushed past me into my apartment without asking, suitcase wheels squeaking on the hardwood, Jessica already eyeing my fridge like she was planning grocery runs, I felt my stomach drop. They knew. And the worst part? They didn't even try to hide it. I closed the door behind them, heart hammering so loud I was sure they could hear it, and thought, this is either the moment everything changes or the moment I finally cut them out for good. What happened in the next 10 minutes still gives me chills. 7 months earlier, I was still the family punchline. Picture this. I'm 32, wiping down sticky tables at 11 p.m. after another double shift, apron stained with coffee and regret. My phone buzzes. It's Jessica, my younger sister, the one with 87,000 Instagram followers and a mental health brand, texting me for the first time in 4 months. Hey sis. Quick favor, can you watch the kids Saturday? I have a collab shoot. You're the best, smiling face with hearts. No, how are you? No mention of the fact that I'd spent my last birthday alone eating microwave ramen while she posted beach selfies with captions about self-love. Just the assumption I'd drop everything, because I'm the single one with no real life. I typed back exactly one word. No. She replied with the crying emoji and, wow, okay, guess family, doesn't matter anymore. Then radio silence again. That was normal. That was us. Mom Linda, 59, only called when she needed someone to listen to her complain about Dad's snoring or her sciatica. Dad Robert, 61. Only reached out when his ancient Ford needed a $400 repair he couldn't cover. Mike, 35, my big brother, the serial entrepreneur, had borrowed $8,200 from me over 6 years, never paid back a dime. Every time I asked, he'd say, business is tough right now, Sarah. You wouldn't understand. I did understand. I understood. I was the safety net they only remembered when they were falling. So when I stopped at the gas station that rainy Tuesday night, exhausted, soaked, $3.47 left on my debit card, I bought one $20 scratch-off ticket on pure impulse. Not hope, just something to do, while the clerk counted my change. I scratched it in the parking lot under the flickering neon sign. The numbers lined up. First row, second row, third row, $10 million. My hands shook so hard I dropped the ticket. I picked it up, checked again, then sat in my car for 20 solid minutes staring at the wet windshield while my brain tried to catch up. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I called the only lawyer whose name I remembered from a billboard downtown, someone who handled big personal injury cases, but said on his website he also did high-net-worth privacy planning. I met him at his office at 10:30 that same night. Cashier's check for the retainer. Ironclad anonymity trust set up before the sun rose. Money wired into an account only I could access. Not one word to anyone. I went back to work the next day like nothing happened. Same apron. Same dented Civic. Same one-bedroom apartment that still smelled faintly of mildew. Because here's the brutal truth I needed to face before I ever considered sharing a single dollar. If I told them now, would they suddenly love me? Or would they just love the lottery? For the first 3 months, the answer was easy. No calls. No texts. No surprise visits. Just silence. Beautiful, peaceful silence. Then the first fishing expedition started. Jessica sent a random "thinking of you" text out of nowhere. Mike just happened to drive by my building and texted, "Your fridge looks new in that window pic LOL. Mom asked if I'd come into some money lately because you seem calmer." I laughed it off. Changed the subject.
Kept the mask on.
Until the night Mike sent the message that made my blood run cold. "We need to talk. I know something." That text from Mike. "We need to talk. I know something." Lit up my phone at 11:42 p.m., and I swear my heart stopped mid-beat. I didn't reply. Not that night. Not the next day. I just stared at the screen until it went black, pulse racing, wondering how much he actually knew and how the hell he found out. The trust was airtight. The lawyer swore nobody could trace it. But Mike had always been the one who could smell money from 3 states away. So I did what any terrified woman with a secret jackpot would do. I doubled down on normal.
Same job.
Same routines. But the fishing expeditions started coming in waves. First, Jessica. My influencer sister suddenly worried about my health. She called twice in 1 week, first time in years, asking if I was okay financially because stress can really mess with your skin, sis, and you look tired in your last story. Then came the loaded question. You didn't like win something, did you? You can tell me. I'm family. Mike just happened to drop by my building unannounced, knocking on my old door with takeout he never paid for. He spotted the new fridge through the window, the one quiet luxury I'd allowed myself, and smirked. Nice upgrade. Business must be booming, huh? Mom Linda sent the guilt trip classic. Family sticks together, Sarah. We haven't seen you in forever. Are you hiding from us? That's not how we raised you. Every message felt like a hook baited with fake concern. And the worst part? Part of me still hoped one of them actually cared. But deep down I knew they were circling. Then I slipped. Just once. I treated myself to a cash-paid weekend at a quiet beach cottage 2 hours away. No tags. No location. Just one sunset photo I posted to my private story because the sky looked unreal. Big mistake. Jessica commented within 6 minutes. Wait, where are you staying? That looks expensive. Like, private cottage expensive. That same night Mike texted again. We really need to talk, Sarah. I know something big. Call me. I didn't call. Instead, I packed a bag at 3 a.m., canceled my lease, and moved to a new apartment across town under a different name on the mailbox. New number. New everything. I thought I'd outsmarted them. I thought silence would protect me. For 2 weeks it worked. No calls. No texts. Just blissful quiet. Until Thursday night at 9:17 p.m. There was a knock. I opened the door and all 4 of them were standing there, suitcases, fake smiles, and that same entitled energy I'd grown up with. Jessica stepped forward first, phone already recording. Surprise, she sang. We're family. We're staying. My blood turned to ice. They knew everything. And they weren't leaving. My hand was still on the doorknob when Mike shoved past me, suitcase wheels scraping across my floor like nails on a chalkboard. We know about the $10 million, Sarah, he said, voice dripping with that smug older brother tone he'd used since we were kids. The lawyer's secretary is my girlfriend's cousin. Small world, right? Jessica pushed in right behind him, already filming on her phone like this was content gold. Mom and Dad followed, eyes wide, scanning my modest apartment like they'd just walked into a palace. The silence that hit after Mike's words was so thick I could hear my own heartbeat. I closed the door slowly, fingers trembling, and turned to face all four of them standing in my living room like they owned the place. Suitcases parked. Shoes off. Jessica already opening my fridge like she lived here. You tracked me through a leak? My voice came out steadier than I felt. After everything? Mom stepped forward first, eyes glassy, in that practiced way. Sweetheart, we're family. We would have helped you through it all. You didn't have to hide this from us. Dad nodded, already calculating. 10 million after taxes is still life-changing. We could all. No, I cut him off, voice sharp. Sit down. All of you. Before I say another word, you're going to hear the whole truth, starting from the exact second I scratched that ticket. They sat, reluctantly, Mike on the couch like he was claiming territory. Jessica still recording. I stood in front of them, heart hammering, and laid it out in calm, brutal detail. The rainy Tuesday night, the $20 impulse buy, the numbers lining up under that flickering gas station light, the lawyer at 10:30 p.m., the airtight trust, the decision to test them by staying silent. Every ignored birthday, every unanswered text when I was sick, every time they only reached out when they needed money. I named them all. No sugarcoating. Jessica's fake tears started halfway through. We would have been there for you. Mike leaned forward, jaw tight. This is family money. We're suing if you don't. I held up my hand. The room went dead quiet. Okay, I said, voice low and steady. Here's exactly what happened the night I won. Every detail, every receipt, every reason I kept it secret. I took a slow breath, looked each of them in the eye, and delivered the line that changed everything. But when I finish the story, none of you are getting a single cent. And I need you to understand exactly why. The looks on their faces in that moment, shock, anger, panic, still play on repeat in my head. Because what I said next shattered them. I looked them dead in the eyes and told them everything, slow, clear. No emotion in my voice at first. The gas station. The exact numbers on the ticket. The lawyer at 10:30 p.m. that same night. The trust. The anonymity clauses. The $10 million wired in before sunrise. How I'd lived exactly the same broke life for 7 months just to see if any of them would show up without a dollar sign attached. Then I hit them with the receipts, pulled up the trust documents on my laptop right there in the living room. Every ignored surgery. Every unpaid loan. Every holiday I spent alone. I read the dates out loud. No yelling. Just facts. Mike's face went pale. Jessica's fake tears dried instantly. Mom's mouth opened and closed like a fish. Dad actually looked ashamed for the first time in my life. That was the logical payoff. Every single question they'd thrown at me for months, answered. Every loophole they thought they had, sealed shut. There was no family money. There was no lawsuit they could win. The trust was bulletproof. The lawyer was already on speakerphone confirming it in real time. Then, the emotion hit me like a wave. My voice finally cracked. You ignored me when I was broke, sick, and crying in the hospital alone. You only came back when you smelled money. I kept the secret because I needed to know if any of you actually loved Sarah Bennett, or just Sarah with 10 million. Turns out none of you did. And that hurts more than being poor ever did. I cried. Real tears. Not for them, for the little sister who used to believe family meant something. But in those tears came the biggest release of my life. Relief. Justice. Validation. I finally saw them for exactly who they were. The consequences came fast and hard. Mike tried the legal threat one last time. My lawyer laughed on speaker and listed every reason he'd lose in court, public embarrassment included. Mike stormed out first, suitcase in hand, muttering he'd never forgive me. Jessica deleted the video she'd been secretly recording and left crying real tears for once. Her followers would never know why her family reunion content disappeared. Mom and Dad begged for 10 minutes straight. I wrote each of them a single $5,000 check, not out of guilt, out of closure, and said, "This is goodbye. Don't contact me again."
They took the money and left.
All of them. That night. 3 months later, my life looks nothing like it did. I'm still Sarah Bennett, 32, but now I live in a quiet coastal apartment I bought cash. I quit the cafe and started a small scholarship fund for young women who feel invisible to their families. I sleep through the night. I laugh without looking over my shoulder. The dented Civic is gone. So is the anxiety. I won the lottery in secret, and in the end I won something money can't buy, freedom from people who only loved what I could give them. And if you're still here, watching till the very end, thank you. Your support means more than any jackpot ever could. That's my story.
Complete.
No loose ends. Just me, finally at peace.